Hello, this is Chad Middleton from Vision Counseling and Vocational Consulting. We're located in Columbia, South Carolina, and we are vocational evaluators, vocational experts that provide vocational evaluations and vocational assessments that you can use as evidence to support your claim for disability. Of course, vocational evaluations all have to do with your ability to work. So because we're certified, we can make a statement about your ability to work um, anywhere in the national economy, anywhere in the United States. We're the vocational experts. We understand the demands of work. We understand labor market information. We understand what's required to perform certain jobs, and we understand medical terminology. So we're specifically trained to provide information about the demands of work as well as medical disabilities and functional limitations you may have that limit your ability to perform in certain types of jobs. Okay, so if you're considering applying for TDIU benefits, which is a work benefit or your inability to work benefit, you need to have a statement or some type of evidence from a vocational expert that has credentials that you can use as evidence for your TDIU claim. We're here in South Carolina, but you may have someone in your area. You may have someone that is willing to do a vocational evaluation, but I'd like for you to consider that person's credentials, and I'd like for you to consider whether or not that person has the ability to write a report that you can use for your vocational evidence. Because if it's not worded correctly, if you don't have the right terminology, it's very likely that your vocational evaluation report will not be considered credible and will not be allowed by the VA. So if you have any questions about any of that, you can contact our office, all right? We're located in Columbia. My number is 803-563-5087. But you can email us or visit us on the web at www.vcandvc.com. That's Vision Counseling and Vocational Consulting.com. Okay, I wanted to give another round of applause to another veteran that has been found entitled to TDIU benefits. I usually like for my veterans to give testimony or some type of YouTube interview for you guys, so you know that these are real people. But a lot of times veterans are not comfortable sharing their face, their information, even though they're very much appreciated with the services. They feel uncomfortable about being put on blast, so to speak. So I'm going to give you another testimonial from a veteran that was found entitled to TDIU benefits. This veteran reached out to us sometime earlier this year. I think he participated in a webinar. He provided us with meticulous records, okay? Meticulous records with his work history. He gave us his resume. He provided me a job description of his past jobs. He also provided me medical documentation, even threw in some regulations about his disabilities. I didn't need it, but he provided that information as well. All of the award letters dating back years, he was able to provide it for me. So his case was pretty lengthy, for lack of a better term. But we did an evaluation on him in June. Okay, he contacted me recently and told me that he was awarded TDIU benefits in September. Yes, in September of this year. Evaluation performed in June. He also filed his notice of intent to file for TDIU, I believe, in June. And when we provided him his vocational evaluation report, his claim was approved, and they backdated his 100% all the way back to June of this year. Okay, so he got the full 100% benefit from June all the way to September, and from September forward. Okay, but I want to give you some of his limitations. He was 80% service connected. He never applied for TDIU benefits before, but his conditions were bronchitis, gout in the right foot, gout in the left foot, prosthetic hypertrophy. And some of you, if you don't know what some of these conditions are, don't worry about it. But he had a 20% rating for diabetes, 30% for each of the right and left foot, like I was saying before, 10% for glaucoma. He had 20% for left lower extremity diabetic neuropathy, and 20% for right lower extremity diabetic neuropathy. Totally 80%. Of course, if we add all of this stuff up, he's well over 100%, but y'all know how the VA works. It doesn't work like that. So I had to do an evaluation and how all of these conditions affected this client's ability to work. All right. I also had to address sedentary work. A lot of times when you have a high disability rating, the VA, and it's for multiple physical ailments, the VA automatically assumes that you're able to do sedentary work. All right. This is the untrained eye. This is what typically someone that doesn't work in this field would determine. Okay. He has all these conditions. Of course, he can't do anything physical, but he's also limited in his ability to perform any type of standing, any type of physically strenuous work. He can't work outside, of course, with the bronchitis. He has right foot, left foot gout. He has left lower extremity diabetic neuropathy, right lower extremity diabetic neuropathy. Even sitting for prolonged periods of time is difficult for him. This is all evidence in his medical records. Okay. And because these limitations are evidenced in his medical records, what I do is translate this information into work, put it in a document, type it up, and basically say, in the layman's terms, this brother ain't gonna be able to work for nobody. All right? That's what you need. That's what you need. You need a statement that says, based on all of these limitations, there are no jobs that you can reasonably perform in the national economy. All right. Now, if we believe that you are able to work, if we believe these conditions are not severe enough to prevent you from working, we won't even do an evaluation. That's why it's very important for you to have the initial consultation or participate in the webinar. That way you get to get some information from me about my initial impression, whether or not I may be able to help you or not. Some veterans have even just say, Chad, skip the consultation. Here's my money for the assessment and the consultation. And I want to go ahead and just bypass all of that. And I want you to start working on the evaluation, vocational evaluation. Now, should you choose to do that, still, I won't do the evaluation without having a good idea whether or not I'll be able to help you. But a lot of times our veterans are very pressed for time, and they want to get the process done as soon as possible. But here's an example of a veteran that went through the process. We did the evaluation. Approximately 6 months later, after we did the evaluation, he was found entitled to TDIU benefits. So round of applause to this veteran. Look, he served. He has a whole lot of physical limitations, and now he's being compensated for the rest of his life at the 100% rate. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you have limitations, you have documented treatment for those conditions, your own medication, you have the items and the things that we need in order to do an evaluation, give our office a call and start setting up an evaluation as soon as possible. We're already scheduled into November, December of this year. Okay, so don't lose hope. Go ahead and get your documentation together. I even helped the veteran the other day with getting into the VA system. He's about 70 years old. He didn't know how to get all of his documentation. He didn't know how to get the war letters. He didn't know how to get into My Healthy Vet or e-benefits. So I set up a Zoom call and when we shared the screen, he provided me some documentation or some information, and we was able to get him set up. All right. It was my first time ever doing that for a vet. But if necessary, if you need to get electronic copies of your documentation, you get in contact with us. We'll try our best to get that stuff done for you. It's not something that we commonly do, but we'll be more than happy to try to assist you with that if at all possible. But thank you once again, vets, for your service to our country. Thank you for checking out these YouTube videos. It's been extremely helpful. You guys are coming through with your information already in place. I got a lot of veterans already waiting in the queue for me to do the evaluations. So continue to check out these videos. Follow us on Instagram at vision_counseling on Instagram. We provide a lot of information on Instagram as well about limitations, about disabilities, about paperwork, about things that you need to get your claim approved. Okay. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me. And I trust you have a beautiful day.